Have you ever found yourself thinking, I know what I should do, so why can't I just do it? It's a super common frustration. Well, today we're going to break down a really structured way to bridge that gap, to move from just knowing about things like mindfulness to actually living them. It's all about that disciplined path from impulse to real, genuine wisdom.
So let's just get right to the heart of the problem. We read all the books, we listened to the podcasts, we gather so much information about how to be better, right? But then our day-to-day life, our anxiety, our old habits, the way we react to things, it all just kind of stays the same. So what's the deal? What's blocking our knowledge from actually becoming real, lasting change?
The way to understand this is to see it as an internal conflict. It's not about a lack of willpower. It's more like a constant battle going on inside you, a battle between two very different parts of your mind, and each one has its own agenda.
So on one side, you've got what we can call the impulsive mind. This is our default setting, It's reactive, it's anxious, and it just runs on autopilot, on old mechanical habits. But on the other side, there's the wise mind, calm, conscious, and really deliberate. The entire journey we're talking about is learning how to consciously shift from that first calm over to the second. Okay, so how do we even start to make that shift? Well, before you even think about any specific techniques or methods, the very first step is a huge mindset change. It has to be a conscious, intellectual decision, a real commitment to the journey, not just some fleeting emotional whim. This commitment is sometimes called taking refuge. Now, it's really important to get that this isn't about blind faith at all. It's an intellectual choice. First, you accept the guide, the idea that awakening is even possible for you. Second, you trust the path, the practical teachings themselves. And third, you align with the community. Because let's face it, having support from others on the same journey is a game changer.
And this quote just nails the starting point. The goal isn't to achieve some lofty, abstract spiritual state. Nope. The first job is just to achieve basic human maturity. It's about understanding your own mind, your own reactions, and your emotions on a really practical day-to-day level.
And this brings us to a super crucial distinction. Just being smart, having a high IQ, that is not enough. Actually, without practice, a high IQ can just lead to a bigger ego and even more complicated reactions. What you really need is what's called a common sense intellect. This calm, reflective ability to apply wisdom, not just collect more information. That is the real foundation of mental maturity. All right, so with that mature mindset as our foundation, what's the actual work? What's the daily engine that's going to drive this transformation? It really comes down to 3 core steps that you just repeat. This is the core loop you've got to engage with every single day. First, you listen and learn. Then, you use that common sense intellect to really contemplate and reflect on what it means for you. And then, the most important part, you practice and experience it in your actual real life. If you skip any of these, that knowledge just stays stuck as information in your head.
Let's look at a really practical example of this. A tool like mantra recitation. It's not some magic spell. Think of it more like a diagnostic tool. As you repeat it, your impulsive mind might start screaming, "No way, I can't be at peace." And that's the whole point. It brings your hidden anger and your reactivity right up to the surface, so you can finally see it consciously and, over time, learn to dissolve it.
And when you really stick with this daily discipline, the results are, well, they're tangible. You can actually feel the grip of that impulsive mind start to loosen. Those old ingrained patterns of reaction start to weaken. You begin to experience this genuine inner stillness and comfort, and your knee-jerk reactions start to transform into mindful, conscious responses. Now, this daily practice doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It actually fits into a much bigger, structured framework. It's like a complete roadmap for maturity, and ultimately, for awakening. The full path is laid out in 8 steps, and those are organized into 5 different stages. So this gives you a comprehensive system. You're not just wandering around in the dark hoping for the best. There's a clear, logical progression to follow. But, and this is a huge but, before we get lost in the grand scheme of 8 different steps, the framework is super clear. None of it matters if you haven't mastered stage 1. And stage 1 is all about that foundational goal we talked about earlier, achieving genuine human maturity. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means getting brutally honest with yourself. You start to recognize your own attitudes. You question every single reaction. Why did I get so angry just then? Why am I feeling sad? And you stop blaming other people or situations. It's about taking total ownership of your inner world to build that solid foundation of maturity. Now, while all of this work is deeply personal and internal, it's not meant to be done in total isolation. This whole journey gets amplified and so much stronger when you engage with other people who are on the same path. And this is where the idea of satsang comes in. Just think of it in two parts. You've got internal satsang, which is your private, daily work, your own reflection and practice. This is what actually turns knowledge into experience. Then you have external satsang, which is the community piece, group sessions, shared learning, accountability. You really need both for the whole feedback loop to work.
And this brings us right back to our original problem. If you have ever said this to yourself, I get it, I understand it all, but I'm just not changing. Well, the source material is very direct about this. The answer is a lack of dedicated internal satsang. It means that hard work of contemplation and personal application, it just isn't being done consistently enough. So, we've laid out the problem, the mindset you need, and the method to follow. The entire journey is about making this definitive shift from being a passive consumer of information to an active practitioner of transformation. And let's be really clear about what discipline means here. It is not a punishment. It's not a chore. It is the essential tool for creating your own mental freedom. And the perspective here is pretty unflinching. Any excuse for not practicing, I'll do it tomorrow, I'm just too lazy, that's simply a sign of the very mental immaturity that's holding you back.
Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. The path from the impulsive mind to the wise mind. It isn't some big mystery. It's built on 3 pillars: consistent, daily self-analysis, a genuine, burning desire to understand yourself, and the unwavering commitment to apply what you learn, day in and day out. So, to wrap this all up, let's just leave you with this one thought. Forget everything else for just a moment and ask yourself this one question. It's not about how much you know, it's about how much you apply. So, how consistently are you really analyzing your own mind?